there's a lot to be gained from giving yourself permission to feel empowered, giving yourself permission to show up in the world as your full self.
Have you realized, you clearly haven't because it's in your blind spot, that you might be so identified with a feeling or with yourself or with a story that this could be holding you back in some way? Hey, high vibing it homies. Welcome back to another amazing and magical and sparkly episode of High Vibing It. We thought it would be really fun, and maybe this is not something we just thought of, but maybe something you guys asked for, not explicitly, to do an episode that's fully card pulls. So no matter when you listen to this, where you are, if it's old, if it's new, doesn't matter. These messages in this podcast are being pulled for you. And we will say that we do a lot of card pulls over on our Patreon, which is where you get extended video versions of every episode a week early and a bunch of other fun stuff over there. So if you like card pulls, definitely join the Patreon so you can get more of them. But today we're just dedicating the whole conversation to messages from your spirit team that you need to hear right now. So whether you've been on the fence about something, confused, needing clarity, needing direction, needing reassurance, needing a sign, this is it. This is your sign. And if you're new to this podcast, welcome. We are here to help you live your best life, optimize all areas of your life through our various expertises. My name's Kelsey Aida, co-host here, best-selling author, manifestation and self-love, geek, nerd, teacher, and I am joined by my bestie, Lindsay Robinson, who is a hypnotherapist extraordinaire, and she helps you to get your subconscious mind on fleek.
Yes, activate all the parts of you that you need to live your best life. And dare I say, which I'm really into lately, and I think this is going to be what I say from now on, jump in timelines. I think we've been doing that for years over here on High Vibing It, but it's become very popular to start saying it out loud. So yes, that's exactly what we're doing here. And whether you go through Kelsey or myself, that's what you're signing up for. So I hope you're ready to ascend, because that's what we're about. I do want to say,
buckle up.
You're probably going to say this at the end, and I'm sorry if I'm jumping the gun, but if you've been on the fence about joining our Patreon and getting access to episodes early and all the bonus content and supporting the show, which is what we kind of live off of over here, if you've been on the fence about it and wondering if you should, now is the time, because we are waiting to get 100 Patreon subscriptions, and then we're going to give everyone, those 100 people, the first 100, a really awesome gift that's curated by Kelsey and myself. We're going to collab on a massive, amazing, wonderful prize for everybody that signs up. So whether you're in there already or you're thinking about doing it, telling a friend about it, we need 100 people before we release the magic. So I hope that it's you.
Yes, get in there, tell your friends, come hang with us. It's really fun. It's a little more of a community. You can comment, you get bonus goodies here and there, you get the early eps, and you get the extended.
And we say things on that Patreon that we would never say on. I mean, I would never say on air, but
AKA we overshare even more. So if you're really nosy about our lives, just join the Patreon.
Yeah, for sure. If you are.
Amazing.
Okay,
so this is funny because as soon as I had the idea, oh, we should do an episode where we give them messages, I actually had a really strong message come through, but I'm not going to say it until later because I feel like it's going to come through the cards. But if it doesn't, then just remind me and I will tell you guys what it was.
Okay, so I'm just going to dive in. Kelsey requested the first deck, and if you're on the Patreon, you can see it, but it's Sacred Geometry Activations.
I'll link to these in the show notes too if you guys want to get them.
Sacred Geometry Activations Oracle deck. It's got obviously what it sounds like, Sacred Geometry graphs. And then the second deck we're going to pull is from the Ancestors, Messages from the Ancestors. I've been really feeling into Ancestor energy lately, so this is one that I picked. And then at the end, Kelsey has her blind spot deck, which she'll show you when we get there. But I'm just going to go ahead and dive in, shall I? Okay, here I go. You're muted.
Sorry. So basically, all of these cards are for everyone, or do we want people to pick like A, B?
We could do an A. Well, I
feel like all of them are for everyone.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is for you.
And here's what I tell people when I pull cards in my sessions. Listen, if I pull a card that you're like, oh, that's not really happening in my life right now, or I don't recognize where that would be relevant, Just know that time doesn't exist. And if you pull this card today and it doesn't resonate right away, or there are parts of it that don't feel accurate, they might in like 24 hours. It's crazy
True.
how the
That's
message
fun.
comes to you. You might hear the message before you're ready to receive it or before it makes sense. So I'm just putting it out there. There is a chance that you might be like, I don't know about this one. Just give it a minute. Trust me. Because that happens a lot in my own life when I pull a card and I'm like, I don't know, guys. And then 2 days later or an hour later, I'm like, oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so the first card we pulled, and you're going to want to be on Patreon for this because it is a visual card. Obviously, Sacred Geometry is very visual. But if you're not, I'm just going to tell you about it. So this is card 26. If 26 means anything to you, it is the card of empowerment. Okay, so getting rid of the glare so you can see the shapes.
Pretty.
The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in a deep trust that we all are connected through the same source. We were just talking about this on the previous episode. And when I get into the description, it's going to describe the card visually.
Wait, before you describe,
Go ahead.
I feel like this is for two groups of people. You're either receiving this message because your medicine right now would be more empowerment. So do what you have to do to feel more empowered, whether it's standing up for yourself, whether it's saying what you need, whether it's going to the gym, like whatever the thing is that you need to feel empowered right now, do that. Do not hesitate on that. And then the other camp of people this is for the people who are feeling really empowered, and this is your permission to stay there and amplify it and
Yeah.
like soak all the juice out of it.
Yes. Okay. So if you're not on the Patreon, you can't see it. It says, in this empowerment image, we see human shapes with their arms over their heads, referring to the state of completeness that every human can reach on their own. They also show us the power of our connection. Because we are all connected to the same source, we can overcome any perceived differences and combine our power toward a more conscious reality. All the shades and gradations of blue refer to our ability to express ourselves in the world. Blue is also considered to be the color of truth. The red in the center refers to our ability to ground and identify ourselves in the physical world. Red stimulates courage, strength, power, and determination. And the yellow balls emerging from the middle refer to the inner power that flows from our center onto the grid of the flower of life, the basis of our form-based reality. So the actual message is really, pretty much exactly what Kelsey said. If you're feeling into the energy of empowerment, then you'll probably come to this conclusion too. But it's less about strength, because we often associate it with strength, but it's less about strength and more about enabling or giving power to. So strength not only refers to the totality of everything that makes us strong on the outside, like our physical form and shape, but includes the inner qualities of wisdom, balance, flexibility, adaptability, and courage. Our true power is deeply rooted in our knowing of who we are, our connection to source and self. When we are clear about who we are, we can be clear about what we are here to do. This clarity is empowerment. So, know who you are and give yourself permission to go for it. And if you're not feeling super empowered, join the Patreon and look at that image, I guess. If you're not feeling super empowered, just meditate on those colors, and that there's a lot of chakra energy in there as well, like the rootedness and the red and the yellows. So there's a lot to be gained from giving yourself permission to feel empowered, giving yourself permission to show up in the world as your full self.
Yeah. This ties into the message that I was getting for everyone that I'm just going to share now because it's relevant. So the message I was getting before we started the episode, and to preface this for anyone who's like, who is this bitch trying to give me a message? I am un
Who would say that?
I am un poco psychic, and when I ask for answers, they come to me. So this is your answer that you've been asking for, channeled for you. Yes, you, whoever's listening. Basically, the message was a strong theme of like, if you've been on the fence about something or scared to go in a certain direction, but like ultimately it's your heart's desire to go in that direction, now's the time to commit to it and take the leap. Even if it seems like scary or overwhelming or you don't know how, like take the first step, commit to that timeline, hop on it. And that brings me back to this card because that could be your answer to why you don't feel empowered. You don't feel empowered because you're not living in alignment with your true heart's desires. So you need to go for it This is your permission slip. This is the time. If you've been like wavering on it, doubting it, wondering, no, this is not the time for that. This is the time for action, moving forward in the direction of, and only you know what that thing is for you.
An imperfect action. Just one step. What can I do today that will move me in the direction? And if you don't know, one of my favorite things to do is be like, you know what? I don't have to know, but the universe knows and it's going to show up for me. I did that literally this morning because I'm having my kids have an ailment and I'm not sure how best to go about it. It's not that bad. They're totally fine. But I'm like, at 3 a.m. you worry about things and I'm like, what do I do? I don't want to have to make them all appointments and get a salve or something. So I just said, you know what, Lindsay, you're not going to worry about it right now. The universe knows what to do and it's going to show you exactly what to do. And then this morning I got this weird sign to go and look at this certain shop online, this organic, like all natural shop. And I found the perfect thing within like 2 seconds. And I was like, immediately knew. Okay, well, that was what I asked for. So thank you. And it gives you so much relief to know that you don't have to have it all figured out. That's the biggest reason we don't let ourselves do shit, is because we don't have it all figured out from step 1 to step, a million. You don't have to. You don't have to. So now what's your excuse? Just start. Like,
now you have no excuse.
Now you have
You're
to.
welcome.
And you'll thank us later. Okay, so I've been shuffling these for a minute. I'm waiting for a card to pick itself. I love when they fall out of the deck. I don't really love to pick it because I'm like, what if I'm influencing it? Even though there's no way I know what card it is.
Whenever I pick cards now, I just let Otto do it. My dog pulls cards. If you guys haven't seen on my TikTok or my Instagram at cultivating, I need to do more card pulls, but I feel like it's so like fun. It needs to be like behind a paywall. I'm like, y'all need to pay for this puppy loving, let me tell you. But it's so cute. I literally let Otto pick the cards and he always picks the best ones. Or I like for them to fly out of the deck. So it's like, couldn't be more obvious. You know?
I was doing a card reading yesterday about for somebody who just really had this question of like, why did I make this huge move in my life? What was the point? Because it just seems to kind of be going wrong. And to be fair, it's retrograde. So I'm like, listen, don't pay attention at this moment. But there's this theme of like, it's all just, it doesn't feel like it was supposed to feel. And immediately I was like shuffling. Just 2 cards fell out. One, caring connections, which is literally about a couple coming together more closely. And the second card that popped out next to it, in the deck next to it, was man holding a heart. So I was like, okay, here's what's coming through. It's not about money. It's not about your business. It's not about anything else except your relationship. You came here to do this with your relationship. And it's kind of on him to work out his stuff. But the way that it came through was like, they flew out so fast. So when that happens, I know there's no doubt about it. Like, this is the emphatic message.
Angels have spoken.
And it made perfect sense for her. But that's not for you guys. This is the card for you guys. Today, the Ancestor card that came out so beautifully is the Gardener Ancestor.
Wow, and it literally was just the spring equinox like 2 days ago as we're recording this.
And cultivation. And this is a little bit from, okay, so if you're not seeing this, it's from shoulders down. It's a woman, feminine figure with an apron on, holding a clump of dirt with flowers coming out of it and a butterfly, which is very funny because that is my sign that I've been getting the last few days that everything's working out, are butterflies. So there you go. There's a butterfly if you need a butterfly, some flowers if you need a flower. Cultivation is the key word here. The Gardener Ancestor wants you to nurture your seeds that you've planted, wants you to help them grow, fertilize them, whatever way feels best. This deck kind of goes into the history of like our ancestors and how they would do these things, like the hunter, the gardener, that sort of thing. I'm going to kind of skip to the actual message. They tend to the soil with love and care, nurturing. Yep. These gardens can supply gifts of food for the gardener and their family as an exchange for the love and care of the gardener. Decorative gardens with flowers and trees provide visual and sensory pleasure. Hands-on gardening. Okay, the message. In addition to nurturing growth of plants and trees, what else are you cultivating in your life? Are you sowing seeds of love and care, nurturing these with your blessings and intention? Are you paying attention to how you affect others? Do you support their growth emotionally, mentally, and spiritually? What about yourself? Are you tending to your own personal garden, allowing it to flourish in ways that support your spiritual growth and awareness? It's time to examine the ways that you are ignoring or inhibiting your spiritual growth and take measures that will this is for me, guys, and take measures that will cultivate your soul's path. Grow a plant from seed and observe how you feel when you pay consistent attention to this living being's needs. Sing to her, water her, send your prayers, and watch what can happen. So if anybody else needed that, that was like an arrow through my heart of knowing. I know. Okay, we all know when we're slacking on our practices. We get busy, we get distracted. This is all about like, hey, come back. Come back to what allows that growth spiritually and do that. And if you're into gardening at all, a really cool manifesting hack you can do if you're planning on planting anything physically, put an intention with that seed. With this seed that I'm planting, I'm also planting abundance. This seed is infused with the abundance I'm attracting into my life, the love I'm attracting into my life, whatever it might be. It's so much fun to do. And then as you watch this seed grow, you can like visualize that it's also growing your whatever you're intending.
Did you know that this show is 100% self-produced and made possible by listener support? If you love the show and want to help us keep bringing you all the good stuff, join our Patreon. Your support helps us cover editing, software, and everything we need to keep this podcast going and growing strong.
As a Patreon member, you'll unlock amazing perks like early access to every episode, extended video content, behind-the-scenes footage, and more. And the best part, if you're one of the next 100 people to join, you'll get our exclusive manifestation toolkit valued at over $100 as soon as we hit our goal of 100 patrons. Head to patreon.com/highvibe to join, and we'll see you inside.
Hey there, it's Lindsay. Are you ready to transform your life and achieve your biggest dreams? Well, welcome to the Align Your Mind membership. As a seasoned hypnotherapist, I've crafted a digital sanctuary where you can access powerful hypnotherapy audios anytime, anywhere. Imagine waking up each day feeling empowered, confident, connected to the universe, and ready to conquer your goals. With AYM, you'll experience deep, long-lasting transformations in every area of your life. If you're ready to rewire your mind, release what's holding you back, and start living your dreams, don't wait any longer. Just click the link in the episode description and start embodying your highest potential today.
Love that. Also,
Yeah.
this is just a random practice that's coming to me that I don't think we've mentioned on the podcast before, but if this is anywhere near the first of the month, don't forget to do your cinnamon. Don't forget to blow your cinnamon into your front door. Just have fun with it. Be witchy with it. Just get some cinnamon, shake it out into your hand, open your front door, blow it into the front door. And as you blow it into the threshold, you are calling in abundance. You are blessing your home with opportunities, prosperity, growth, success.
And leave it there for, I've heard two schools of thought. Either leave it there for a couple days and then you can sweep it up, or just don't sweep it up.
I just leave it.
But then you're going to have like piles of cinnamon depending on how
Well, you don't do that much cinnamon. You're not like dumping out the whole jar, you know?
You know what I've done to start giving it a little kick? Because I like to do everything like so extreme.
Overachiever over here.
A little extreme is you can put any coin. It doesn't matter because it all represents money. A penny or a nickel or any kind of coin. If you're out of the country, whatever coin is in your country, put it in your palm, put the cinnamon on top of it, and blow the cinnamon off the coin into your house. Just for a little added zhuzh. It kind of gives it a little extra kick. You don't have to, but you don't have to do the cinnamon either. It's just
Extra symbolism.
Exactly.
I like it.
Oh my gosh, so how is this showing up? Do you find the gardener relevant in your situation at this moment?
Yeah, in every area of my life. Like the thing that was coming to me when you were reading from the card was like your ancestors, your angels, your spirit team, anyone helping you from the other side, quote unquote, wants you to nourish something. So whether it's yourself that you're tending to, like your inner garden, whether it's an area of your life that you need to pour more into, like maybe a relationship that's not going to make itself better, like you have to put the love and dedication and learn those love languages and cook for your partner, and you got to do some nice things to rekindle the spark, or whatever it is. If it's your health, if it's seeds that you need to plant so you can make money, like whatever it is, this is really a call to nourishment. And for me, like, I've been working on my health, I've been working on my relationship, I've been working on my business, my career. So I feel like all areas, and it is like spring, so spring has sprung. Even my literal garden, we're doing a huge flower bed in the backyard. My backyard is so big, and it's all grass that like barely grows because the dirt here is terrible. It's like basically sand. And for years, like every year, it's all about the grass, trying to get the grass. And I'm like, F this grass is so stupid. I want to plant a bunch of different stuff and make beautiful flower beds to take up as much grass as possible. And then
Yeah.
we can worry about the grass later. So we've been doing a huge, over 100-foot long garden that's going to have all sorts of pretty grasses and trees and plants with lots of movement and plants that smell good and rosemary and lavender and all the things. So literally and figuratively, nourish
When you
it all
plant them,
over
put
here.
those intention is in your seeds and just see what happens.
Oh yeah.
It's very fun.
Well, we're not planting from seed, but
Oh, you're not? Okay, well, when you put it in the ground, you
I
can
don't have the patience for that. I'll be buying it. Not fully grown, but grown.
That's true. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But if I was
yeah.
gonna do like wildflowers or something, I probably would just spread a bunch of seed.
Spread 'em.
But I
Yeah.
have like a vision for the vibe, so I need to buy the specific plants, you know?
I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. Yeah. But you can still definitely do that as you're digging the hole or like putting it in the ground. You can be like, this is where my abundance is going to be rooted right here. I'm going to make sure that it's just beautiful. I love that. I can't wait to see it. I've seen the before. You showed me what it looks like now, so I can't wait to see
I need to send another picture because yesterday we put like all the tarp down so the weeds don't come up. So now you can actually see like the shape of it. So yeah, it's looking big. We're like, whoa. But it's really nice because it's right outside my bedroom. So every day when I wake up and I open the curtains, it'll be like, oh, like our beautiful flower bed right there in the corner of the backyard. So I'm definitely excited for that. Our yard is so big and has so much potential, and it's surrounded by like forest. And it's pretty private, so the only thing it's missing is just like more intentionality. So
Yeah.
we're making it a vibe this season.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, I hope everyone else is doing the same. If you can do anything outside, this is the time. I mean, depending on where you are in the world. Here, the ground is still frozen until May. And it's gloomy today, but any chance you get, whether you're planting indoors and then transferring later, I'm just a gardener. I think anyone who can get their hands dirty with soil should be doing that at all, anytime you can.
This is your invitation for metaphorical gardening, actual gardening. If you've been on the fence about growing your own food, start small, do it. It'll be awesome.
There's no downside. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't seed or it doesn't grow. But you know what? You try again.
Judge yourself and you're like, oh, another plant murdered.
And so you brown thumb. Like, come on. Just try one. It's okay.
Another plant murdered. Another
Okay,
one.
should we do the blind spot?
Okay, yeah. So my idea with this episode was we would go into the messages and then we're also going to pull a blind spot. So this blind spot deck from Teal Swan, it's very intense. I probably won't read you the whole description of the card because they're long, but it basically tells you what you might not see about the situation that will help you to heal it or overcome it. So if you have any resistance or anything like that, it's likely to show up in this card. So let me shuffle.
That was quick.
Popped right out before I could even shuffle. Okay, so the card is 53, and these cards have sigils that she channels, and basically when you look at the sigil, it gives you the frequency of the medicine that you need. So if you're on the Patreon, bada bing, bada boom, receive
Okay.
medicine.
Yeah, shapes and shapes.
What does it look like? Describe it to the people, Lindsay.
Kind of looks like girl. Okay, it looks like a person at the bottom with a V kind of coming down into their chest and then going out. There's above, like where the head would be, is like an upside down triangle or pyramid, and under it is an upright triangle. So you got an overlapping triangle thing happening, and then at the top is like a half moon, or it's like a bowl. It looks like a bowl.
It's a lot of shapes going on. A lot of
So many
circles, lines, triangles. It looks very sacred geometry-esque, but like a little bit
We
different.
probably shouldn't have done visual cards for this.
Okay, so 53. I don't even know what this card is about. So I need to read in the book. There's nothing.
It looks like
there's no
something from
actual
Moana.
words on the card, so you have to refer. 53. Oh, okay. This is interesting.
Let's go.
So this card, it says the blind spot that you could be carrying if you pull this card is identification. If you have drawn this sigil, you are currently so identified with something that you cannot separate yourself from that thing enough to be objective or conscious about it. Identity is the condition of being oneself, one separate self. Another word for this is ego. Whenever we associate something with ourself, we identify with it. It becomes part of us and the same as us. That is what attachment really is. It is identification. And the thing we identify that is threatened, if the thing we identify with is threatened, We experience it as a threat to our own survival, a personal attack. One could argue that identification is a good thing when we identify with things that make us feel good. But the minute we identify with something that causes us to feel good, it contains within it the seed theme, of its own opposite. Worthiness carries the seeds of unworthiness. Excitement carries the seeds of disappointment, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to identification, it is not only things external to us that can cause us suffering, it is also identification with things we perceive to be internal. We are the most identified with the three primary aspects of ourselves: our body, our mind, and our emotions. Yada, yada. Let's see what else. In truth, you could disidentify with just about anything. To disidentify with something, you must first identify it as different from yourself, as other than you. Oh my gosh, can I tell a story about this? Okay, so this is what literally helped me heal from depression. So when I was stuck in a 3-year-long cycle of depression, I kind of like became it without realizing it. But then one day I realized I am not my depression. This is a separate thing for me. This is like a cold for my soul. And colds, they go away on their own. The body knows how to heal a cold. You just have to support yourself through it. You know, drink some Gatorade, eat some chicken noodle soup, sleep a couple days, and then you're good. You don't think, oh my God, I am my cold.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
am
think
forever sick. Yeah.
right? So when I disidentified from it, that's the moment when the healing began to occur. And weeks later, I was better. I mean, there was more that happened in that story, but to keep it relevant to the card, this is what it means to disidentify. So it's really asking you, have you realized, you clearly haven't because it's in your blind spot, that you might be so identified with a feeling or with yourself or with a story that this could be holding you back in some way.
So it's fun that this is a blind spot card because we almost don't want to read it first. You want to read the message of like, here's what you should be doing. Here's where you need to focus, and here's what you need to release before you can really dive into empowerment, before you can really dive into the cultivation of your manifestations. Is how am I identifying so much with where I am now that it's keeping me from where I want to be?
Yeah, and there's a little exercise here that I'll read. So it says the way to allow, she's basically saying you should practice disidentifying with things, but in a way where it doesn't feel like you're losing something. Because often when you separate yourself from something, it can feel like you're losing that part of yourself. So it says an exercise to do is relative to the situation, take out a sheet of paper and jot down all the things you suspect you might be identified with. You can be sure that there are many more than those you write down. But this is a consciousness exercise. A good way to find things you're identified with is to look for anything you call mine, quote unquote. For example, the minute you say my friends, you are identified and thus attached to them. Also, everything you would put after I am X. For example, the minute you say I am sexy, you are identified with being sexy. Try to identify thoughts and beliefs you are identified with. For example, money doesn't grow on trees might be a thought you are identified with. Try to recognize emotions you are identified with. The ones you are most identified with are the ones that are chronic or come up most often. For example, disappointment might be one. Also, try to recognize the aspects of your body that you are identified with. For example, if you see yourself as fat, you are physically identified with being fat. Anything you identify with will cause a strong reaction in you. The ego has owned it as a part of its composite self. Whenever those things are threatened, the ego will go into a state of reactivity and defense. The ego has motive to maintain these aspects of our life, even if they cause us pain. It sees the loss of these things as annihilation. If you have drawn this sigil in this situation, you are not seeing your identification clearly. A little disidentification will do you good.
I
Wow.
like it.
Deep. There you go. I'll show it to you guys again. Ta-da. Disidentify, folks. Disidentify. Ego deaths are welcome here.
We all have them too. So if you have a lot more than you saw, you're not alone. We all have them still.
Yeah, join the
And we tell
club.
everyone
Love
all
to
the time.
share.
Yeah, but it's just about recognizing it. That's really, the older I get, the more I really come to be comfortable with the idea that like you're never going to get there. You're never going to achieve the peak pinnacle of beyond human because that's not why we came here anyway. But you are going to get better at identifying what it is that's keeping you stuck, what it is that's making you feel icky. It's like what I tell my clients is like we're not giving you a new car. We're just giving you better shocks so that we're not removing the bumps in the road. We're just making it so you don't feel them as hard. And when you do feel them, you know how to navigate around them easier than before. So again, we're only human. And isn't that beautiful? We're just human. And that's so cool.
Love it.
I love it.
Yay. I actually want to do 2 more cards for the Patreon peeps, so we'll head over there in a second to do that, because I feel like there's still people that are like, well, is that really the message for me? But what I want to do next is like an A-B. So then you'll actually know that you chose the card for you. Even though this episode totally found you at the perfect time, let us know how it resonated, whether it's old, new, doesn't matter. The message is meant to find you. You are a vibrational match to one or all 3 of these messages. So hopefully you found it helpful. If you're on Spotify, drop us a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop us a comment. If you're watching this on Patreon, drop us a comment. If you can comment, leave a comment. If not, leave a review. Let us know how it went for you. Or send us a DM. We always link our iTunes in the show notes. It's just our names. I'm Kelsey Aida. Lindsay is Lindsay Robinson. Not to be confused with Lindsay. It is Lynnnsey. Lindsay.
Right.
And yeah, we'll see you guys over in the Patreon. Be sure to join so we can get to 100 people. And we love you, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks so much for tuning into the show. Thank you to everybody who has left a review and shared the podcast with friends and family. We super appreciate it. It really helps the show a lot.
You can further support the show by joining patreon.com/highvibe to get exclusive content, extended episodes, bonuses, and more. Thanks again for listening. We love you so much, and we'll be back with another new episode. Bye.
Bye.